Narratives in the New Battlespace: Artificial Intelligence at War. A few weeks ago, a story broke that sounded like just another tech controversy. An AI system used by government agencies, a dispute between a company and a political leader, a contract suspended, a legal fight unfolding. At first glance, it feels familiar. Silicon Valley meets Washington. But the more I sat with it, the more it felt like something else. Not a tech story, a war story. Because what's really being contested here is not access to a tool, it's control over something much more consequential. Who gets to use intelligence in war, and under what limits? We often imagine war in physical terms: land, sea, air, space. But something quieter has been happening. Artificial intelligence is no longer an accessory to warfare. It is becoming part of its infrastructure: surveillance systems that see faster than humans, drones that prioritize targets, algorithms that process satellite data in real time. What used to take hours now happens in minutes. What used to require teams now happens through systems. And with that shift comes a subtle displacement. Humans are no longer always the primary processors of battlefield reality. We are supervising it. There's a phrase often used in military circles: the kill chain: detection, decision, action. AI compresses that chain, not just by making it faster, but by pushing it beyond the speed at which humans can comfortably intervene. When decisions happen at machine tempo, the role of the human begins to change, from decision maker to monitor, from actor to overseer. And once that shift happens, control becomes harder to define. But even this isn't the most profound transformation, because there is another domain of conflict, one that doesn't appear on maps: not land, not sea, not air, not space, but cognition, the battlefield of how people understand reality. War has always involved stories, propaganda, psychological operations, control of information. But those processes used to be slow, human, limited by coordination and time. AI changes that. Narratives can now be generated instantly, replicated endlessly, tailored precisely. Influence is no longer episodic, it is industrial. What used to require entire networks of human effort can now be produced by a system in seconds. And here's the anthropological part. These systems don't just produce content. They exploit how humans already think. Our tendency to trust repetition, to recognize patterns, to respond to authority cues. AI doesn't invent these tendencies, it scales them. In earlier eras, conflicting narratives were easier to navigate. You might hear two opposing claims and assume one was wrong or misleading. Today, something more unsettling is happening. Multiple versions of reality circulate at once, each coherent, each persuasive, each claiming authority. And the problem isn't simply misinformation. It's that the informational environment itself becomes unstable. Leaders may no longer be reacting to the same set of facts. Audiences may no longer be anchored to a shared frame of reference. The question is no longer what is true. It becomes, which version of reality do you inhabit? This is where the transformation becomes deeply human. Because in an AI-mediated battle space, we are no longer just observers of information, we are participants in its circulation. We share, we amplify, we react. And in doing so, we become part of the system that shapes belief. The danger is not that truth disappears. The danger is that it gets overwhelmed. And then there's the thought that lingers. What happens when you're no longer sure who or what you're communicating with? When signals are generated, filtered, and interpreted by machines on both sides? When negotiation itself passes through systems that shape tone, timing, and content? At some point, the boundary between human intention and machine mediation becomes difficult to trace. And in that moment, the battlefield shifts again, from territory to perception to interaction itself. This is AnthroIntelligence, Culture, Cognition, and Code. I'm Richard Jonathan O. Taduran. Stay curious and stay human.